All right, we're going live. Going live a few minutes early. That's new. So this is going to be a little switch up for roll call. This is normally roll call. I'm rebranding this. What's up, MC? Rebranding this Operational Reset podcast. This is going to evolve into a bigger podcast, a bigger show than just an Instagram live. So we're going to still talk about the same stuff, getting operationally ready as a law enforcement officer. So being ready for not just the street, but your department, the longevity, having longevity in this job, what that means, wellness, all of this stuff. This is what the Operational Reset podcast is going to be about. And so no better place than Wednesdays live to jump on here and talk to you guys about that. This is brought to you by the Tactical Resilience Training System. This is the system that I developed that you can learn that will help you. Two different places. What's up, Zach? Two different places that this helps law enforcement. Okay, and we're talking, Zach, we're talking about I'm rebranding this roll call as the Operational Reset podcast. This is going to evolve into something bigger and longer conversations about this kind of stuff that we talk about, and that we understand that it's so important to get proactive about. And so this is today what we're going to really talk about is proactive versus reactive wellness. I've had some conversations over the last week with law enforcement, and it's so reactive in this space. Wellness is so reactive. We have to get ahead of the problem. And this is why I developed the Tactical Resilience Training System. Zach's a part of it in that community. And this is what it's going to be. Operational reset. How do you reset, whether it's from just one call, whether it is from a series of calls, whether it is just, I've been on this job a long time and I'm starting to feel burnt out. I am burnt out. So how do you reset from that? How do you get, amazing. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's so important to be, it's so important to be proactive. Look, and here, let's break this history down a little bit. When I came on in 2000 as a law enforcement officer, what was the culture? The culture was you didn't talk about it, you didn't ask your FTO about it, you handled your business, and that was it. What you held the weight of this job, and that was it. You held the weight of it, and you didn't have resources. So I'm seeing and hearing the red flags with them. Yeah, absolutely, right? So we saw it, right? We came up in this, and we see those red flags with people. We see the diving into alcoholism, diving into impulsivity, diving into the broken relationships. All of this. Figure it the fuck out and stay out of my face until you do was our culture. Yeah, right. I mean, that was the problem. If you were a hard charger, if you wanted to get into it, you had to figure it out. And don't bring your problems to my front door. This culture of silence, this bullshit that broke teams down, it broke people down, and it's not the way it should be. And it's not the way it's moving, right? The direction is moving. I have great hope that it is moving in the right direction towards proactive. And there's two people. I was about to get to this, right? There's two people that the Tactical Resilience Training System is really for. It's for a hard charger that has gotten burnt out based on the stress load that they're carrying from the street, from inside their department. They're burnt out or getting to that place of being burnt out, and they've lost their edge. They've lost their purpose. They've lost their desire. They've lost what it meant for them to be in this job. It's for them to get that back, to sharpen that edge. Iron sharpens iron. Get involved in the community. Be a part of this movement towards proactive wellness. And proactive wellness means that you're out there doing the job, that you have the capacity and the surplus to do it. So that's the first person it's for. The second person it's for is a high performer, a hard charger who's out there getting after it. Hasn't yet lost their way, hasn't yet had the impact of this job hit them in a hard way. It's for them because they want every advantage. They want every advantage for themselves to be out there and be a hard charger. So you want better reaction time out of the holster. You want better reaction time and decisions in an engagement. You want better ability to talk to your managers and supervisors, leaders. The job just becomes a job and routine, and you become complacent, and complacency kills in the profession. Yes, absolutely, Retro. It absolutely does. And so how do we, right? That's that first person who's become complacent, who's let the job just become a job. They've lost their purpose. They lost the reason why. And you hear me say it all the time if you've been around me at all or you're on these at all. But the great Jim Rohn said, if the why is big enough, the how is easy. So you got to figure out, why would I get proactive about my wellness, about my resilience? Why would I do and engage with a system like the Tactical Resilience Training System when I'm on the job? So that you don't get complacent, so that the job doesn't just become a job, that you can lead with purpose, lead with meaning. And it's so true, Retro. I totally appreciate that comment, because complacency kills not just the profession. Complacency kills officers. Complacency kills officers, individuals. And you cannot tell me that this type of proactive wellness and stress load management, nervous system regulation, and emotional intelligence training is not as important as defensive tactics and weapons tactics and communication and leadership. It is absolutely 100% as important, because if you don't have this, you don't need the other things. Because look at the statistics about how many officers are being killed in the line of duty and how many officers are unaliving themselves every single day. It's ridiculous, and it has to stop. And this is where we draw the line. We draw the line. You draw the line. We draw the line and we say, I'm getting proactive. I'm not going to hit those officers at my department with platitudes and questions that just end it with the I'm good. I'm going to hit them with questions that dig into what's actually happening in their lives. I'm going to build resilience for myself so that I can help others. I'm going to be a high performer so that I can show what a high performer is, and it will permeate out from me. I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm going to get proactive. And we have people on here that are getting proactive about it. So the ever famous I'm good. Oh my man. It is one of the worst questions, because it's not, or one of the worst statements. It's not even real. The I'm good is not even a real statement. It should be a placeholder to a conversation where maybe this person is saying, I'm good because I can't talk about it yet. I'm good because I don't know how to process it yet. How do we dig in to that experience with better questions? Yeah, live in the dream. Just live in the dream. That's the complacency coming out. That means they've lost that dream. They don't know where that dream is. Sarcasm is part of this job. And when we can say, hey, I get it. What part of that dream is weighing on you heaviest? What part of the dream that you're living is affecting you most? Now we've broken past that living the dream statement, and we've gotten to a place where we've asked them that initial question. Now you might need to push that question a little bit heavier with talking about an experience that maybe that you know that they've had. Hey, I understand that call. It will be heavy for anybody. That experience that I saw you go through, man, that would sit with anybody for a while. That's that affirmation in the care protocol. Check in, affirm, resources, encourage. This is the protocol. The hard questions. And they become less hard, Zach. They become less hard of a question to ask if you rep them. An arm bar is hard to throw in jiu-jitsu day one. You don't know where that foot's supposed to go, that the foot's supposed to go on the hip. It's help you make that pivot. When is the time that I need to throw this over? What should I be doing with the elbow and the arm? How do I lock it in? All of those things are difficult day one. But 3 years in, that's routine. You can not only throw an arm bar with laser precision, but you can execute every part of it with high level precision. So the questioning is also a developmental skill that you have to get good at so that you can change that culture that has been built by this culture of silence, or this silence and this attitude that law enforcement has had. So you can be the person that changes the culture by getting the reps in, by asking those questions. And the first few times you ask those questions, it is going to be hard. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you're day one trying to throw an arm bar, right? It's going to be day one where you're trying to you're stumbling over your feet in the boxing ring and you don't know if you should be throwing a jab or going to the body or all you're doing is getting hit. It's going to feel like you're getting hit. So this is proactive, though. You have to be proactive. How do you combat the stigma that if you say anything, they might think I'm unfit for duty and lose my job? Speak up saying I'm not okay and I need help. That's a hard one. That is a difficult one. I would first ask, why do you think that do you just think that is the culture? Have you seen that happen? Retro, I'd love to chat with you a little bit deeper about that to get a little bit more context to it, because sometimes that is a reality, 100%. If you're working for a certain department, you're working for certain people, that is going to be a reality. Now, maybe it's just a reality we think, right? We don't see the world, but our own ideas about it. So maybe it's not the actual perception. What I would say is do things by the book, right? If you're going to legitimately ask for help, do them by the book. Tap in with your peer support first. Tap in and look, man, Retro, let's be real clear about it. Maybe you are unfit for duty right now and you're trying to get back fit for duty. That's not a weakness. That is biology and happens to the best of us. So don't stigmatize yourself because of the way that you're feeling. Really reflect on it, identify it, and then if you have opportunities to take advantage of resources, then walk down that path very, very carefully with eyes wide open. So start to regulate yourself and your nervous system in that stress load before maybe making any of those big decisions. And I can help you with that. I can show you how to do that. That's part of the system, so that you can unlock your emotional intelligence and you can unlock some of that decision making for yourself before you have to make those decisions. But I would say you reflect on what's happening for yourself. You start to pre-regulate yourself, and then when you make a decision, you say and do the same. And you walk down that path very intentionally and with the right process. Sometimes we need a hard reset. Been there, done that. Exactly. Zach is chiming in on this, and and understands that it's not a bad thing to need that. I'm from the old school, 25 years on, and like you talked earlier, we didn't speak up. It's when I came on in 2000 and went to 2008 with highway patrol and with a PD. We didn't have but one peer support person. PD or the highway patrol, I don't even think had. Maybe they had a team. I didn't know about it. Culture is changing now to accept it more, but back then it was taboo. Right. So is this, right, that question that you had, what do I do if this is putting my job in jeopardy? Look, that's a reality. It might. But you might be just thinking that it is that way because of when you came up, right? And the attitude that you were drilled on since you were in FTO, right? You were drilled this attitude that, hey, you better be fit for duty. If you get affected by these calls, then you're not fit for duty. You're not going to be trusted. You're going to be the black sheep. You're going to be the weak link. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. That's not the case. This is not a weakness. Burnout is not a weakness. Being affected by a traumatic, stressful experience is not a weakness. It is simple biology. Simple biology. Yep. Zach says, I'm not far behind you. This is 20th and know exactly what you're talking about. And this is my era too. You guys are in my era. Like 2000 to 2008 is when I was on. Shortly thereafter, peer support. Look, we can look at this as the change that was happening. We've all lived this experience. It's like coming up with the internet, not coming up with the internet and having the internet happen. We're in one of those big changes in law enforcement where at one time when we first came on, there was no peer support. Okay. It was you. You handle it yourself and don't be the weak link. This bullshit culture of silence and attitude that permeated. It was an ego-driven attitude. Okay. So we saw that change a little bit as peer support became less luxury. It wasn't a luxury training. It wasn't a luxury team that we were going to have in our departments. It became, we understand that this is necessity. Okay. It's a thing we need. Most departments are there. There's still a handful that don't have it, but most departments are there. So we saw that change happen. Okay. That took years to happen. Now we're seeing this, but that was still reactive. It's always reactive to a critical incident, an OIS, a traumatic call where they have to do, a critical incident stress management debrief. Stress management debrief. Stress management. They know it's there. They know they should be doing it, but they do it post the problem. So look, that's reactive. They started realizing that reactive reactive was the way to be. And they knew they needed it. They knew they needed to be reactive and provide some resources when these things happen. But what we're seeing now and what we understand now about the science of stress and the science of nervous system and the science of emotional intelligence is that we have to be proactive to get going with it. Hey, what's up, Leo? So get proactive. This is the change that's happening right now. We are in the middle of it. We are the forefront. We are the leaders of it right here. The people that are on this call, folks doing the work that I'm doing, people that'll show up to one of my trainings, people that'll get my online program and tap in, pay the little bit of money that it is to accelerate your experience and enhance your experience. That's being a leader. That's being proactive. So thank you, Billy. Yeah, this is a topic. This is on my heart for weeks and weeks now, right? And so I love this platform that we can come on here and talk about getting proactive, okay? Reactive was once not thought about. It became, and it was luxury. It became standard, okay? Peer support, all of these things that I just mentioned. Now, proactive is thought about as luxury or something that we don't have to do. We still don't understand, many still don't understand that it's simple biology, that we can affect these things, and we can absolutely, with proactive measures, affect our stress load, regulate our nervous systems, access emotional intelligence, and be better officers, better leaders, better all around humans for not just your department, not just your community, but for first and foremost for yourself. And then it ripple effect. I talk about the ripple effect in my workshop. And we talk about it from what happens when somebody doesn't regulate themselves, doesn't take a proactive approach. It can ripple out. And it ripples out from personal to team to department to family and community. And then, family is the very outer, like it gets to the family. But it can be a good ripple too, if you take proactive steps. So if you say, I'm going to take proactive steps, I'm going to learn these techniques, I'm going to use them, I'm going to do the action in isolation. When I clear that hot call, I'm doing journaling. I'm doing visual journaling, that motor output task. I'm doing it because I want to be fresh for the next call. Before briefing, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do some grounding. After my workout, before I go home, I'm going to do another round of visual journaling. Hopefully you're doing that stuff throughout the shift, not just one time. We don't wait for the end of shift to downshift. We regulate throughout the shift so that when we get off, we are regulated, we're patient, we're present, and we are in touch with our purpose and our why, which is likely, I know if it was for me, it was my family. I wanted to be the best cop I could. I wanted to have the most impact out on the street. But more importantly than that, I wanted to be the best human. I wanted to be the best father. I wanted to be the best husband that I could be. So if you want those things, we have to get away from this idea that we're going to be reactive to it, and we have to be proactive to it. Proactive policing, right? It's a thing. It might be a thing of the past out on the street, but it doesn't have to be a thing of the past for you when it comes to wellness and regulating and taking control back. Take that control back. Get agency over your biology, your neurology, right? Your psychology. That is stress load management that affects the body. Nervous system regulation. That's that affects the neuroscience of your body, and emotional intelligence. That is the psychology of it. Okay, so you affect these three things and you are all better for it. But you got to be proactive. You got to say, I'm going to do the reps. I'm going to get it in. And I'm going to be a hard charger when it comes to my wellness. So look, first step is joining these conversations. Okay, first step is awareness. You guys are all aware now. Anybody that's seen this is now aware. You can't turn your eye away from it. You can't forget it. You know that being proactive is the better choice. So now it's up to you. It's up to you to make those actions. Take the action. Turn the action into a habit. Turn the action in isolation into a habit so that you then are better for yourself. Teach some of these things to your teammates. Start those conversations. Get those reps in. Get sharp. Iron sharpens iron. So if you need assistance with any of that stuff, hit me up. If you want the full training system, go tap in. I'll send you the link. I think it's still up in the bio right now. I'm about to change that because I'm dropping an operational readiness test that one can take to see where they're at and get a personalized sort of recommendation back. And so I've been working on that, and that's coming. But right now, link in the bio for my program. If you want to get proactive and you want to change this culture, you want to change yourself so you can affect and be the leader that you want to be, not just for your department, not just for your team, but for your family, for your life, then get tapped in with the Tactical Resilience Training System. Tap in with me. Hit me up in a DM. I'm the guy in the DMs. So if you're talking to me, and Leo knows it, I tried to call Leo back yesterday. We connected on Instagram. He shot me his number. I hit him up. I'm accessible. So get with me. Look, and if you're in the Denver area, we're gonna wrap with this. If you're in the Denver area, March 25th, Douglas County is hosting. I am teaching a Tactical Resilience Training System full-day workshop. If you're in the Phoenix area, Chandler, Arizona, okay, in the Phoenix area, April 9th, I'm going to be teaching Tactical Resilience Training System one-day workshop at Chandler PD, okay? If you're in the Bay Area, I'll be out there April 15th. So if you have a department that you want to hit, I'm doing a closed session for East Bay Regional Parks out there April 15th. But then back in May in Reno, Story County, and doing a I'm losing my train of thought here. I need to do some journaling, unlock my working memory. May 8th is the Story County Tactical Resilience Training System one-day workshop. And then May 9th in Reno, we're going to be doing a Precision Under Pressure, which is a tactical pistol and proactive mindset collaboration with Precision Resilience Training Group. So let's see. Associations leadership to be proactive with their membership. If you are getting resistance from administrators and association leadership should step up. I totally agree with that. And look, hey, that brings up a great point. I've been looking to and been reaching out to more associations. Look, if you are in a part of an association, a part of a union, and you want to start affecting the culture, a culture of change, get me in touch with your association. I want to have those conversations like this with them. They want to support you. They want to have your back. So if you are a part of an association, please reach out, DM me. Let's get me in touch with the person that's there that is going to advocate for you. Let's take this from all angles. Not just the individual officers, not just the departments, but the associations, the unions, the nonprofits, all of these places that we can tap into to help change this. So if you're part of an association, you know somebody in an association, hit me up, please, in a DM. And Ak, if you are connected with one, let's start a conversation. And they have vast resources. And yes, it can be political, right? We're stepping into new territory with that, but who cares? Look, we can politicize it in a better way. Look, Arizona, there's a senator there, John Mackinac, I think is his name, who is advocating. He wrote a Senate Bill 1391 that is advocating for a pilot program. It's allocating $950,000 towards a pilot program for proactive stress management in law enforcement. It's happening. We are changing. Things are changing, and there are politicians, there are officers, there are trainers, former law enforcement, there are associations, unions, departments. There is a vast amount of resources available to us, and we just need to tap into it. So if you are connected, hit me up. So look, March 25th in Denver, April 9th in Chandler, Arizona, April 15th in East Bay Regional Parks, closed sessions, but I'll be out there. So if you're part of a department, you want to do some roll call trainings, you want to hire me for some of these other times, I'll be out there around that time. May 8th, Story County, Nevada, full one-day workshop. May 9th, Precision Under Pressure, Precision Resilience Training Group, Tactical Group, Pistol, Reactive Pistol, Proactive Mindset. And then May 22nd, Aurora, Ohio, another full workshop out, I think it's a few hours from Toledo. And then June Kansas, south of Wichita, in Kansas, in the city of Derby. So those are what I have set up right now. There's a handful of others that are popping up in this next few months. If you have a department, you have a training coordinator, you have a sergeant, a lieutenant, a chief who's you think would listen to this kind of stuff and wants to change that culture where you're working, then hit me up. And if you don't, if you feel out on an island and you are stuck by yourself, then hit up the online program. And if you want that, tap the link in the bio, get that today and hit me up. I'm happy to jump on a one-on-one call with you and walk you through the best implementation plan for that. So look, this is the Operational Reset Podcast. I appreciate everybody chiming in. It was great to be here. And it's always every week, Wednesday, live on Instagram, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard, 1300 Eastern Standard. And I'll see you all next week. Stay sharp and enjoy your right now.